That's where the term scapegoat comes from. It's like, this is my scapegoat. My escape from death came because I killed this goat. It's like if Beyonce, if the wages of the sin is death, and for us, let's be dramatic, and I say the wages of, Beyonce stealing my Bible is death, and I found out Beyonce stole my Bible, and I'm like, Beyonce, you owe me your life. Now the wages of that is death. You owe me a life for that, this for that. She would, oh, it's like a life for a life. Like you did something, so your life is deserving. So what they would do with the sacrifice, it was like, here's. They were basically saying like, here's a life for a life, and so God would allow that. And we're going to get into why all this crazy stuff happened to Moses. Why was all that necessary to include if Christ was going to come down on the cross by sins anyway? So when you receive grace, grace is saying that you receive you receive that you can't work for the salvation part. But I want to explain exactly what all that means, because I don't want to get ahead of myself. When Christ died on the cross and he becomes that sacrifice for us, the only prerequisite he gives for us to receive the scapegoat is that we believe that he did it, and that we accept that now my grace, for the fact that I'm in his kingdom, the fact that I'm a child of God, is not going to be because I keep the 600 tenets of the law. It's not going to be because I keep the Ten Commandments. But it's going to be because the scapegoat has died. And why did he do it? Because he's saying, I'm stepping out and I'm going to make the sacrifice because I really want a relationship with you personally. One that could not have been had if you stayed in the place where you were going to keep messing up. So when we receive grace, we really come into agreement with Christ's sacrifice. We come into agreement of what he did. And so Calvary really was all about grace. Anybody see Passion of the Christ, the movie? What, did you see the part where they killed him? How like gory that was. And there was like a lot of blood. And he was getting beat. And it was like really nasty. And they showed the little demon baby smiling and laughing at him. And it was kind of crazy. But it takes a while for you to really understand scripture. I think when I first seen it, I understood all these little scriptures, but I didn't understand how romantic it was. And I mean, we watch movies that, like sappy love stories, but it's like that was really like one of the most romantic stories if you think about us being what is really called the bride of Christ, and him doing all of that for us. Now I know a lot of married people, but I'm scared to ask married people if a married husband that they would do that for their wife. Y'all, some of y'all got boyfriends, girlfriends, people you like. By a show of hands, who haven't seen Passion of Christ would go through all that just to be with them? Like, the relationship. Raise your hand if your relationship with the person you with is that important. Like when you would do all that. Praise the Lord for Larry, exactly. And I expected him to raise his hand, but you got to think. I mean, Larry never be married. Christ wasn't married to her. Christ, there was no endeavor, and we definitely. I mean, think about where you are. I know I wasn't for salvation. I definitely wasn't looking to be married to Christ. Definitely was having fun where I was. Like I was have fun. I wasn't married to anybody. Like didn't want to be saved. Didn't want to come into agreement with Christ as he did. But like his foresight, like him seeing even me in that situation, was like I'm going to do all that. It's so romantic if you think about how much. It's like if you would hate somebody, or if you really don't want to be somebody. You look at the little deacon schools that, like Apostle said, the person, she didn't want to come talk to him because his pants was all up here, and he was a weirdo. And it's like, could you imagine a weirdo in school like jumping in front of a car for you? Like, I just love you so much. Even if you never do it, I just want you to know I just do it and I can't see to make that. It'd be weird. Like, why are you doing it? Why are you? And it's kind of like what Christ did. This Christianity or this Christos, the thing you look at is weird, and I don't want to do all that. He dies on the cross, and so the entire Bible is about God's desire to have a relationship. Everything he does is about his desire to have a relationship with us personally. And grace is just his method of reestablishing a relationship. When Adam, both male and female, referring to Adam and Eve, their relationship with God in the garden was a relationship. They talked to him, they walked with him, they spoke with him, they saw him face to face. The fall of man caused them not to be able to have that anymore. So we see him for the rest of the Bible, from Genesis to the cross, trying to reestablish that relationship, trying to get us back to a place where it was okay again for us to walk with him in life, where it was okay for him to talk to us again and us to see his face. So when we say people are prophesying, they walking up like I heard God say. And it's like that. I mean, we're so immune to it, and it's so like, it's in God, it's common sense. But it's huge because it took a lot for us to be able to just quickly, go into that place. For us to quickly, but proper prayer. The reason we can do proper prayer is because of what you saw on Passion Christ. The reason why we can walk with Him and go to the movies and go to the beach and get our hair done and go to the fashion show. And so that when you say you have received grace, it's receiving that you didn't have to work, that Christ did it and you finished it. All I had to do was come into agreement with it, and that is what changed my life. The relationship I had afterwards was good. It's when Apostle said to you, do you remember when Apostle was speaking and she said it's not about trying to be a leader, but it's about allowing God to make you be the leader that He wants you to be. Salvation is not about trying to be saved. It's not about doing and thinking and working and trying to figure out, okay, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? It's a beautiful question, what do I have to do to be saved? But the answer is really just to be with God. The answer is really to come to agreement with Him and then let Him make you the Christian. Christian meaning what? Little Christ. Let Him make it, because we can't make it ourselves. So we really just come to a relationship. We really just coming in and really to make it, I guess in layman's terms, we really just checking in, like, did I mess up? Did I miss the mark? It's really sweet because He makes you into who He wants you to be. You can make So then the answer is that how do I get saved? If you want salvation, you have to. He already did it, so you can't do anything to make yourself saved. But so if you want salvation, the only thing you can do is really just receive it. And how do you receive it? You accept what He did. So how will it happen? Now, for some of you, you already been saved, you already been through all that. Some of you may have not. But these are all, the reason they're tough questions is not necessarily, they're tough questions twofold. They're tough questions because either A, we did, and we understand, and we did it, but it's hard to articulate, or B, we don't understand it at all because we didn't do it and we don't know what happened. Either way, if we're going to be leaders, and people are going to ask us those kind of questions, we need to be really clear on these type of things. So, how will it happen? What will the salvation look like? How is it going to start off? First, your heart will remorse. You will have remorse for sin. You know the difference between remorse, like remorse, or what would you say the difference is, rather, between having remorse for something or recognizing something is wrong? What's the difference between that for you and me?
I think when you remorse, you understand the deepness, like you understand the wrongness of what you did, and you actually feel how you did was wrong. You understand the seriousness of it. But what was the other one?
Or just recognizing that it was wrong. What's the difference between I have remorse for it, or I just know this is wrong?
Yeah, because a lot of things we know when it's wrong, but we cannot care. But when you remorse for something, you be that was you understand it, you understand the seriousness of it.
Okay. I'm sorry, Brianna.
Remorse is okay, knowing something wrong is basically I use the example about premarital sex. You can know that's wrong to somebody, but you don't necessarily have remorse like that because you don't feel in your heart that it was wrong. Remorse to me is feeling something that you not just people tell you it's wrong, but you know it's wrong. You feel that it's wrong.
I guess the simplest way I can say it is remorse is, between what you were saying is knowing something is wrong is because basically you're told it's wrong and everybody believes it's wrong. It's the belief that it's wrong. Remorse is the feeling that you felt it was wrong, not so much that anybody else will tell you it was wrong. You feel it was wrong versus just being told or knowing that it's wrong.
Okay. So it's because you feel that it was wrong. And in the Bible, it talks a lot about people being poor in spirit. And when it talks about you being poor in spirit, it's really emphasizing. I want to get the exact word. I thought I put it into the slide, but the word that's used for poor in spirit